So I was just thinking, well, I mean, I know I live in the United States, but Asians are pretty popular depending on how American you are. Um, and I know they're, I mean, Americans like Asian people. I saw Fan Bingbing at a Louis Vuitton uh, party celebration. And I grew up in Hong Kong, and I love Tony Leung, Andy Lau. I love that movie with Anne Lee as the director, and there was Tony Leung and Tang Wei, and they were getting into an affair. That was a good movie, and I think Tang Wei is also, she's very elegant. And there's another one, Li Bingbing. She looks like the twin of Fan Bingbing, and they're both so gorgeous, and they're very, very popular to regular people, to American people. So I mean, I think there are things for Asian people to do, living away um, in the States. Mm, and I mean, if you're approved, like Chinese people think you're a nice, good little panda, um, and you're accepted by the Chinese, then you really have no trouble going anywhere. Um, you know, because if you're some Asian, I don't know, coming from London, but Chinese people they won't allow it. They have a system. They either say yes or no. If the Chinese people say no to you, then you can't get ahead. In the States, I guess mainly it's a language issue, cultural issue, but it's also about street smarts, like how good your social skills are. How many good friends did you make when you go out living in the States? I'm very comfortable in the States, more so than I am in Hong Kong. But Hong Kong is like a tiny little kingdom, um, and it's my kingdom. Like, I'm the little girl here. There's no way anyone can hurt me here, but I'm just completely miserable. And in the States, it's something else. I just dress down a bit. I dress down a bit. I have tons of friends from Harvard, from Andover, from every place I go. I meet people even when I go out to a party. I dated a guy who died, unfortunately, but he was a DJ and a doctor and a pianist. He was good friends with Stephen Huff. They would smoke and drink in his apartment in New York twice a week. Um, but yeah, so I was thinking maybe I don't know. I don't want to become a movie actor. I'm very honest. I couldn't lie. I'm too lazy to remember my lines. So I'm not gonna do that. But just something like where I can get in front of people, which is why I thought being a brand ambassador would be a good idea. I honestly think what I put on my skin, or I honestly feel what I'm wearing is very, very nice. So that's what I think. I mean, I'm kind of lucky because Chinese people like me, and American people love me. Um, so I'm pretty safe. My passport, if I don't break a law, it's I have a American passport forever. Um, and I don't even have to renew it for another 10 years. I just renewed it last year. So that's my life. I'm gonna be living back in New York, and I'm just, sort of asking my parents how they feel about what I should be doing, what I like to do. Mm, you know, I mean, probably I'd like to end up being with a guy and getting married, because I always end up, I don't know. I mean, I just get snatched up, and then I end up living with somebody. But I just like the boyfriend to be a really nice one. Mm, nothing special, nothing more special than um, nothing more special than just how my parents um, wanted, how my parents always wanted it by design. Um, you know, they tell they tell they tell their family relatives to portray um, my expectations. Um, they have a fixed idea that life really shouldn't feel very special. I shouldn't have great expectations. They told me very clearly, don't you think you're going to be anything more than maybe a Blake Lively if you're very, very good and you're very, very lucky. Don't start thinking up random things like Natalie Portman, Michelle Pfeiffer. Don't be crazy. If you're a really, really good kid, you might become something like a Blake Lively. But at this point, you're not lively. You're just like thee. Um, and that's all that you are. You're just likely. You're not yet even lively. Whether you get there or not is dependent on whether we beat you with a stick. But if that's how strict they are about even me, what kind of a good boy I end up with, pretty much they have a fixed idea, and then I guess they find the boy with that picture in their mind. Someone who really loves me and doesn't, is not very special, and comes home every day and goes out with me. Maybe you might see him going out more, to our parties. He doesn't do much on his own. He's just in love, and he has a nice stable job, and there's really nothing weird about him, and there's no other woman he thinks of in his life. If he's divorced, he's a single dad, that's okay, but that's okay if there are no problems, none whatsoever. He doesn't complain. He just adores me, tells everybody that. It's how my mom and dad have been portraying that, whether through pictures or asking their bankers, asking their workers to put pictures on Facebook, on the newspaper, to portray just like that. Well, because that's how my parents feel. They feel life shouldn't be crazy. You shouldn't think that you're really famous. You shouldn't spend lots and lots of money on crazy things. They just feel you should be down to earth, and so that's why it's like this. But it's just very nice lighting out here. I mean, I guess the reason I'm considered a good kid is I don't think too differently from them. I don't think my life should be that special either. I went to school and I was so popular in school as an Asian kid, but living in America. Because I think it's partly because I don't think life should be very special. There'd be some Asian kids who like move out of the dorms, spend a bunch of money on a big apartment, and while they're going to school, or eat out every night. And I was very American because I sit in the dorm and I'd have dinner with my American friends, whites, blacks, Hispanics, all of them, and Asians, and we'd have dinner like at 5:30 every night in the Elliott House dining hall, and so you saw everybody there, like all the people, like a lot of big names, the famous actors, people who become famous actors, famous dancers, famous doctors, famous lawyers. Everybody was there, but you had to go to dinner every night at 5:30, and you had to eat American food, and you had to speak American English, and you don't have too much makeup on your face, and I just wear normal, you know, clothing. I was a little bit fashiony, very girly, but not too crazy. Absolutely, people had no idea I came from Hong Kong. Even my closest friends, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we remember you said that's where you're from," but people just thought I was like some kid who grew up in New York. Like I don't know, just it's that's how life is. But that's why I have the same view as my parents, that it's okay to just have dinner with your friends at 5:30 every single day of the week, and life shouldn't be very special. Um, I mean, it would be nice to go to fashion shows all the time, but maybe not wearing a different dress every night. Maybe buy one nice dress and wear it many times to many different dinners. Not too crazy, not too spoiled. I mean, it's how I am. It's how we are. Mm. I never overspent my pocket money as a kid. My sister did. The first time she got a bigger sum of pocket money, she spent it all in a couple of months, and it made my dad go ape shit. He was really angry with her. It never happened with me. Mm. It never happened with me. Excuse me. It never happened with me. In high school, I got like they just put $5,000 into my. It's called Bank Boston back then. And now it's Bank of America. Back then, Bank Boston, and he just put in $5,000 in my bank account. I went to Boston a lot. I mean, I bought a lot of slutty. The reason I could buy slutty clothes as a teenager is because I went to boarding school and my mom wasn't following what I wore every day. But I didn't go crazy. I never ran out. I never ran out of money the way my sister did, like in a couple months. And she didn't even get 5,000. She got like only 3. And she didn't get a credit card. I did. I got an American Express gold card on top of the separate the $5,000 in the Bank Boston account, and I didn't go crazy with it. Mm, I didn't buy anything bad, or I didn't smoke in high school. I didn't, and I had an Asian boyfriend, and we started really early, and he didn't like to smoke. He just liked to make out and have sex and stuff. But other than my high school sweetheart, I didn't have Asian friends, but I had tons of like white friends, Hispanic friends. I did every kind of club, every kind of thing. But so yeah, I didn't spend all that pocket money because I was busy going out with my friends, doing stuff with my friends. But but I still bought pretty expensive clothes for a teenager, just because I was living away from home, so I had an allowance. And my parents believe in buying good quality clothing. Like even when I was a kid, I had really nice clothes. Um, and my mom and dad really believe in buying expensive clothes even for young kids. Some people think if you're a teenager, you shouldn't have spend on brand name clothing, but Like they got, I was a pianist and I performed and they made lots of nice dresses. And like for my prom, like we had like I went with my parents to buy my prom dress and we got like two, and then we got two prom dresses, and then we got it from the Kenneth, back then it was Kenneth Cole, and my mom and dad were with me, and we bought the Kenneth Cole, like the bridal collection. Yeah, I was only like 17 or 16 and my parents got me the Kenneth Cole bridal collection for my prom. Just, I mean, I guess I don't know, for American kids, a high school prom is the biggest event in your life. Um, second only to your marriage. It's your wedding day. It's your wedding day, and after that, it's your high school prom. It was a big deal for us, and my parents. Well, my parents thought Alan was a very handsome guy, so we should make the most of it and get a nice dress. And my mom actually said he was handsome. He's very hot for an Asian, and he was in the wrestling team. He was on the wrestling team, but then he also became the captain of the volleyball team, which he started. But he was also on the wrestling team, um, and he was a year below me in high school. It's really funny because Terry Chang, who's a very good friend of mine, likes to visit the boys' clubs at Harvard with me, and we went to. There was one in particular that I love, and we would go there. And once I met a guy there at the club that I like, and he was from another boys' club. And we went on a date, and he was really hot. He's also a year below me, like Alan was, and he was also on the wrestling team at Harvard. And I forgot his name. I just forgot his name. So one day, someone will have to remind me. Terry or somebody will have to tell me what his name is. But I remember the voice. I remember how his voice is. So, like when I hear, like a podcast and it's his voice, I think of him. I just can't remember his name. We just went on a date and he's nice. He was from another boys' club. So I don't know much about his background because he's from another boys' club. Um, it's the one that Jared Kushner was also a member of, and he's in the same class as Jared, who I've never met. And I'm not very familiar with that boys' club. I'm familiar with the one I like to go to. But yeah, I wonder how maybe if I met up with them, we could actually start dating and try something. We're adults now. And it's so interesting because it was the same year and the same sport. Since he was very blonde, I think he was very built. But I just I wonder, like, and how I can be so forgetful. I really, really forgot his name. I forgot his first name and I forgot his last name. I just I know I'm not the smartest person for Harvard standards, but I ought to remember names of people who I like, but I really forgot his name. Um, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people ask me out once, and I don't remember every name, but Terry will tell me, or somebody in the club I like will tell me after the pandemic. Um, I don't know how much I'm gonna know, but I'd like these people. I'd like at least the boys in the club I like um, to be back in my life after the pandemic. It's just But Terry's better with names and stuff. And it was well behaved. It's often. It's just, like at Harvard, people like to just ask out a girl. Like sometimes you just ask a girl to a formal because you think she's pretty. You just go to a dance and you kiss and something. It's very typical for Harvard. But I just, I should remember the name. Um, I mean, I got asked out to lots of dances and stuff, but I should remember the names of each person. Mm, His name I really forgot. I'm not. I really forgot his name. Mhm. Um, hmm. Well, I've been talking for a while now, which is, normally when I'm out with friends, I'm not the only person talking nonstop. I'm a good listener. So, but if it's easy for me to remind my friends that I'm still alive right now, and my parents are hard to talk to because they keep interrupting me and they have loud voices. Maybe somebody can see my videos out there. Whew. Anyways, I'm gonna go home now. It's such a nice day. I mean, I may as well go home, go home soon. Rather than staying out here for longer.